What's up, y'all? Welcome to the Omi Show. Welcome back. Thank y'all so much for listening. I'm glad to be here. I'm here with my co-host Cope. How you
Hey,
feeling?
I'm feeling good, feeling good. It's All Star Week in LA, so
Listen?
there's an
So we got
energy.
so many things to do. By the time everybody's hearing this, All Star Weekend will be over. But what about Valentine's Day though? Like we just like is that a thing? Do you have a Valentine? What are you doing?
I love that All Star is during Valentine's
Why?
because it's like this excuse every year not to really pay attention to the holiday because I'm at
That's
the All Star game. It's like one of the
I
best.
feel like that's such a man thing to say. Yeah, I was at All Star, so I couldn't really, I got to go to work. You know what I'm saying? Like, what?
Exactly. Like, hey, I'm about this money. What you about? What you want? But
I did see like a couple side events that are like love centered. Like last night at Carbone, they had like an event that was called like Saucy something.
exactly.
And then there's like another like love event I saw, but it's literally two. I got sent over 100 events. How many of them was Valentine's Day related? Two of them. Like, yeah.
It's the
So
benefit. It's the benefit, and I think I used to hear back in the day, like if your girlfriend is at the All Star game on Valentine's Day, the choice is already made. Like
oh,
it's over.
oh man. So we're recording this on Friday,
Hmm.
and tonight is the HBCU Classic. So I have to let y'all know how it goes next week when y'all hear me. By the way, shout out to everybody that's been sending me a lot of love. I'm gonna have to make sure that I just let y'all know because people keep saying like you're not on Tuesdays. Oh my god, where are you? I miss you on Tuesdays. And yeah, I am not on live Tuesdays anymore, but you can catch me right here. You can also catch me on Instagram, TikTok, any of those. You can hit me up. It is me. 202-918-4483 is my Omi Homies text list. 202-918-4483. Also, like, thank you to all the Omi Homies for holding on because I feel like I have been low key not sending out as much as I used to send out.
Hmm.
But I'm working on it. I'm working on it. There's over 500 people in there, and I'm so happy to have built that audience. But I got to revive it now and bring it back and talk to people about things. Speaking of talking to people about things, we're gonna talk about some things today. What are you thinking? Where should we start, Cope?
I think we from the DMV. At least that's where we met, and we should talk about what's going on with Governor Wes Moore in Maryland being uninvited to the White House. And then, after being uninvited, the president decided to say that he was unworthy of being, Governor Westmore was unworthy of being invited. Now, identity aside, I don't want the governor of my fair state of Maryland to be left out. Singling out any governor at a bipartisan sort of governor event sort of affects states' rights and all of these other factors, right? But we should talk about the real thing that's like the elephant is he's the only black governor. And in this climate, during Black History Month, he's the only person excluded, right?
So here, okay. So here is. It looks like yes. Okay. Now this is CNN put this out February 12th. Governors Association says all members now invited to the White House meeting as Trump defends exclusion of some Democrats. See, they didn't want to make it about color. I wanted to read that headline
Hmm.
because they didn't want to put out there this is the only black. It's like we got to why is the burden on us as
Hmm.
black media to have to say this when CNN knows what's up? You know what I mean? Like CNN can't. Why don't they just say it? Like the only black governor gets excluded from the governors association
Hmm.
meeting at the White House. Like, why can't you just say that? So here's what the article says: the National Governors Association said that a traditionally bipartisan meeting at the White House next week is back on after invitations were extended to all of its members, even as Donald Trump continues to rage against two of the nation's Democratic governors and the organization's co-chairs, GOP Governor Kevin Stitt. The Oklahoma Republican told his fellow governors in a Wednesday letter that all members, including Democratic governors initially excluded from NGA's business meeting at the White House, are invited to the event, citing a quote misunderstanding in scheduling.
Hmm.
Yeah. Quote, I'm writing to inform you that President Donald J. Trump is inviting all governors of the 55 states and territories to the Friday, February 20th NGA business breakfast at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's a letter that was shared with CNN. He was very clear in his communication that with me that this is a National Governor Association meeting, and he looks forward to hosting you and hearing from governors across the country. President Trump said this was always his intention, and we have addressed the misunderstanding in scheduling. The apparent reversal comes after Stitt told NGA members Monday that the organization would no longer facilitate the White House meeting, citing the decision to only invite Republicans and to further exclude from a White House dinner two governors who have publicly quarreled with Trump: Maryland's Wes Moore, who co-chairs the NGA with Stitt, and Colorado's Jared Polis,
who's the only gay governor.
So the only black governor and the only gay governor. Okay, because NGA's mission is to represent all 55 governors, the association is no longer serving as a facilitator for that event, and it is no longer included in our official program. Stitt wrote that was Monday. We cannot allow one divisive action to achieve its goal of dividing us. The solution is not to respond in kind, but to rise above and to remain focused on our shared duty to serve the people. Now that was on Monday, and then on Wednesday, they shifted it. Trump further complicated the matters Wednesday afternoon when he weighed in on the back and forth in a post on Truth Social, lambasting Stitt, who he said incorrectly stated my position on the NGA meeting and blasting Moore and Polis. So this is interesting. It's interesting. The White House is saying that Trump sent invitations to all the governors other than two. Trump said, who I feel are not worthy of being there, other than these two, who happen to be the only gay person and the only black person. He singled out Polis, who had blocked his effort to pardon election denier Tina Peters on state charges, and Moore, who he said is doing a terrible job of rebuilding of the Francis Scott Key Bridge and has allowed Baltimore to continue to be a crime disaster. In another post, Trump doubled down on the criticism of Stitt, who broke with the president early this year on immigration enforcement. When Kevin Stitt, the very mediocre at best RINO governor of Oklahoma, was losing his election to a Democrat, primarily because he did a bad job, he called for my help. I endorsed him and he won. Sorry, my cherished Oklahoma, I have done that to you. That's what Trump said about Stitt. Mm-hmm. Is there a line? When does it end? When does saying somebody, you did a bad job, you're a terrible governor? Like what? I'm just, bruh, what the hell?
But I'm sick and tired of people using Baltimore as a whipping boy when at the end of the day, Baltimore's crime has gone down. Baltimore has had double-digit crime reduction. There's just an article recently about how the most recent incomers to Baltimore are black young women moving into Baltimore that are building businesses and being professional. Baltimore has a lot of things going in the right direction, but because it doesn't look like the type of communities that people want to champion, they can't recognize the work that Wes Moore and Brandon Scott have been doing for the past 2 years. And because it looks like the type of people who feel welcome in a space like that are going to be black women, right? Like the safety, it feels a lot better. No one's going to look at that fondly. So they're going to keep on saying Baltimore's like The Wire because that's the biggest piece of content that people know about Baltimore, and it doesn't reflect, all of the niceties that Baltimore and all the complexities of Baltimore's culture. So, for that purpose, using Baltimore really just ticked me off, right? Like the idea that Baltimore is in a problem state. It had been, but it's on the right direction, and you got to recognize where you should be championing what they're doing so it can be applied across the country. So I'll stop there.
First of all, put some respect on Baltimore. You know what I mean? That's why I'm with you. Let me see if I got sounds that I never use. Did you know? Let's see. I can't hear it. It's not playing. Oh, boo.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Let's just talk about Baltimore. What we doing today? Make sure. Okay, because I just feel like there does need to be, and this is the interesting thing about like strategy around tourism
Mm-hmm.
or strategy around, like I don't know that I see. Number one, Governor Westmore is doing his thing. Was it Angela Also Brooks?
Mm-hmm.
And then the mayor.
Yes.
The mayor is super dope. Like, come on. But I do feel like they need to invest in storytelling.
Yeah.
Because I think that like it's time to invest a hell of a lot in just storytelling,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because okay, so but you also have Freddie Gray, you also have the police chief. Was it the police chief that was they were saying was corrupt? Like there's a few different stories that come out, and it's always the worst ones.
Mm-hmm.
But when I the people that I know that are from Baltimore, live in Baltimore, are some of the most hardest working people ever, and some of the most loyal people, and some of the best people to hire.
Exactly.
Okay, I want to be real clear that the people that I work with from Baltimore, I'm like, yo, I wish I could bring you onto my team full time. They're doing their own things as small business owners, but it's like y'all are so dope. I'm choosing somebody from Baltimore every time. That's the truth. So I think that, but this digs into the idea of worthiness, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, Governor Westmore is the governor of Maryland, so we're just talking about one place, but because Trump called it out. But I think that this is a whole ass elected official, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are you talking about? You know, I think like there is we knew. Let me say this: what we keep seeing is this the lawlessness, but also this like lack of integrity, this like F the system, I am the system.
Mm-hmm.
That's not ending, it's not slowing down, it's not going anywhere. So while it just continues to be upsetting, I think like we haven't got around it being upsetting, and I don't think we should. I don't want us to get to a time where we go, oh, that's just Trump being Trump, because that's what we're being conditioned towards. I don't want that. And at the same time, I'm trying to figure out how I regulate my nervous system through it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like having the terrible uncle that always has to come over for dinner. It's like, it's your mama's only brother.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't not have him. You know what I mean?
Then he breaks
Like,
something. He's always breaking something.
he's breaking something. He's groping younger. You know what I mean? Like he's doing the most terrible things, and you just can't like get rid of him for whatever. I mean, of course, in this case, it's illegal. He's the president. You know what I mean? But like, it just.
I think one of the biggest lessons that Donald Trump being president has its second time over has taught me more than anything is the world isn't fair and fair doesn't win. So like it's not because it's fair that it wins. There's still effort required, right? Like just because you get to you are the fastest, you are the best, that doesn't make you win. Right. So I think that the idea that he is he's obviously blatantly racist, he's obviously willing to discuss it. There are the community that he represents appreciates that, right? Like, and what for whatever reason, a framework has been given to us to say that that's bad, and everyone should understand as a society that that's bad. But there's no agreement on morality and ethics anymore. There's no shared morality and ethics, just like there isn't a shared monoculture. And I think appreciating that the shared values and ethics has disappeared, and that some people want the empire to win. In Star Wars, some people are actually betting that they want the empire to win as opposed to the Jedi. And you have to understand that is some other people's opinion, right? And that's when you look at all the different vassals of media around the country, there's been this decision to own every piece of it from that has become social media or traditional media, from Fox down to TikTok. Th- That is what is in control, and those people who have different morals than you and different ethics, they control the most popular mediums for communication. So it's they are pumping that into so many other people, even if it doesn't work on you.
I have a friend of mine who says, even God is a villain in the devil's story.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So it's like, simply put, and I say this all the time, like, I don't know that we're ready to have conversations with people who just believe the exact opposite of what we believe.
Mhm.
Right. And because there's no convincing them, there's no like, oh no, if you just see this, like, I was talking to this guy the other day,
Mhm.
because I'm in these dating streets, okay?
Mhm.
And we started talking about religion.
Yeah.
And we had a really in-depth conversation because I can't understand, I don't know that he's exactly Christian,
Mhm.
but he's really like the scripture says and the Bible says, and because the Bible says, and he was talking about how, because really the Israelites was really black people. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And so I'm like, okay, where we going with this, right?
Mhm.
Well, because if you look at the documents and people's, who was living there at what time, and even Congress got some different things
Mhm.
on record that prove that black peoples were this and they were in this place. And I said, okay, great, but like, what do you want to do with that?
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Because like, you can be telling the truth. These things could very well be documented. They could be on display at the Capitol right now. But what do you want to do with this? Right?
Mhm.
And he's like, well, because I believe, if our people just know who they are and know what the truth is. I said the truth, they know the truth. So somebody knows what the truth is. And that's why they're invested in us thinking something other than the truth. They're not invested in like the truth, like not being on paper because it's on paper. They're not even necessarily, now they are ripping curriculum out of schools, and they're taking things off they're removing the writing, so from like the national parks and stuff that have like
Mhm.
anything related to like black history. They're removing all those things. But even while it was there, it was in writing. It didn't further cement the truth such that it creates a different impact. Now we need it. I'm not saying they're not valuable to be displayed, but my point is the truth is arguable, and I know that some people
Mhm.
don't want to visit that. What truth? Whose truth?
No,
Okay,
it's
that's
a, it's a, 1,000%. I mean, I think there's something interesting about what this conversation about worthiness and the hyper sort of personalization of culture that is sort of dictated by algorithms now. I think it's an interesting approach to how, like, what determines worthiness, and how the propaganda is trying to be seeded, and it's seeded in multiple ways. And when you look at all the bots that are purposely trying to affect our algorithms, and people are creating these strategies, and it's quite crazy, what people are willing to do to get people to disenfranchise themselves. And I'm really happy that Wes Moore is, I hate the terms articulate, but sometimes people are ready for the assignment. Yeah,
savvy.
savviness, right? Like he knows the position he's in. Um, to be honest, I don't know why Trump keeps on giving him political catnip. Like, why keep on giving him a national stage to be your counterparty if you don't want him have to be your counterparty? He is creating a strong candidate, and maybe that might be the purpose, because he wants to have a strong candidate that can go against Gavin Newsom in a primary to dirty him up. And I think that they run these type of strategies to
They run them on purpose.
so, like, now Gavin Newsom gets a national platform. Maybe they think that they can take down Gavin. I mean, they would rather face Wes Moore than Gavin Newsom. You have to give Wes Moore more of a national profile, make him upset with you. And the reason why I say that they might be
You think
doing
he's
this,
gonna go for president?
I think he should. Whether he does or not, I don't know, but I believe he should. I think it's
Okay, hold tight. We
like
gotta go to a
Obama.
break.
Like Obama, it's his
Oh,
time. Even though it was
it's his
early,
time.
it's his time.
Oh, let's get into that.
Mm-hmm.
I want to talk about that more. He's solid. Let's
Mm-hmm.
talk about that more. Keep it locked right here, y'all. We gotta go to a quick break now. It's getting hot heavier, so y'all don't want to miss this conversation. We'll be right back after this.